What's going on, everybody? Brendan here, Dad Planet. Welcome back to another What's Sold on eBay video. I've changed the format a little bit, so I want to know how you like this, if you're seeing it better. I know a lot of people watch on mobile phones, so I'm trying to be sensitive to that, but I've changed the format a little bit, and man, let me tell you what, I am exhausted, but proud of myself for getting this video in. It's all about discipline. Forget motivation. Just stay disciplined, and you'll get things done. So this is week November 8th through the 14th. Getting caught up once again. 15 more bolos, a little bit of a slower week, but again, we killed it at the end of November, so stay tuned for the rest of those videos. Make sure you're subscribed to see them, and then hit the bell notification that you know when those go live. But I've got 15 more for you in a new format, and I'm anxious to see how you like it. And I'm also anxious to know what your plans are moving into the new year. So if you would, let me know in the comments what your main goal is for 2022. We've been in a pandemic for 2 years now. That's unbelievable. But what's your main business goal? I want to know. Let's talk about it in the comments. And I kind of want to see where everybody's at in their reselling business, whether it's full-time, part-time, all that jazz. But let's talk about 15 items that you want to be on the lookout for when you're sourcing in stores, estate sales, marketplace, wherever it is you find your inventory. Let's get into it. Okay, so gross 2,000, net about 1,100. And you can see my selling cost, my average sales price, go down to about $51. Very, very deceiving though, because November was such a strong end of the month. This was just one of those slower weeks, just like the first week, but ramped up incredibly to finish. So let's knock these 15 out. All right, so the first sale was an air-blown inflatable nativity scene, holiday living, 7 feet from Gemmy Industries. It actually took me a year to sell, which seems a little bit long. I thought it would sell last season. It sold this season. Okay, and maybe it was me and my pricing strategy. 50% of the things that I price on the higher end, 25% a little bit more competitive, and then maybe the bottom 25% is where I'm really, really aggressive with my pricing. So I got 120 for this. The buyer is 156.68 all in. Cost me $10 at Goodwill. And took a year to sell. It took a long time. I feel like I was at the top of the market price-wise for these, as you'll see when I put the comps up on the screen, but I'm happy to have moved it. And again, only at $10, and it doesn't take up a ton of space in the basement. Whatever, I can wait, and it eventually sold. Okay, major bolo alert for the Hasbro Furby 2016 pink version, this electronic version. Now you'll see I sold this for $29.99. The buyer is $45.29 all in. Cost me a couple of bucks at the bins, but really the most recent comp that I've seen sold in the $40 range. So I feel like maybe I wasn't aggressive enough, because the sell-through rate is really good for this particular style Furby right now. So really keep your eye out. This is a bona fide bolo if you're asking me. So even though I got $30, I think you could get 40, potentially more. Just depends on where the market goes and if demand stays high. And I don't know if maybe the holiday rush is making the price increase on this, but really keep your eye out for it. And the Furby market, even the vintage ones, doing really, really well. So keep your eye out for all Furbies, but this one in particular. Okay, so this next one, a Lacoste crossbody messenger bag. I feel like I sold it for $25.49. The buyer is $36.86 all in after shipping and taxes. I found it at the bins for a couple of dollars, and I think this is like criminally underpriced. I don't know what possessed me. I think I just wanted to move it quickly, so I priced it at $29.99 and then took an offer. The bag was in excellent condition, and you will find good condition bags at the bins. It's just it's hit or miss, like going into the retail stores when you're shopping at the bins. But I really like this style. Lacoste crossbody bags, diesel crossbody bags, all of those have high value. So $30, this was a steal. They got an even better deal after I sent off a 15% offer to them, and they accepted it. But keep your eye out for Lacoste and diesel crossbody bags for men, because there's a good market for them still, and you should be able to get a lot more in most cases than I got for this particular bag. Okay, Sennheiser RS120 headphones with docking station. These were brand new. They were actually at a Goodwill behind the counter for $20, so I purchased them. They took a long time to sell. I did end up getting full price for them. In fact, the buyer is $96.65 all in after shipping and taxes, because I believe these went overseas. And paying $20 and having to wait that long, Is this a bolo? It's a bolo depending on the price, because I feel like these, and there's a style, there's like an initial style for the RS20, and then there's a version 2. So you have to kind of figure out which one you've got. Make sure you check the UPC code. But they sold slower. So I'm wondering if maybe this is more popular overseas. Even at $20, like selling it for $65, that's still a fantastic return. Because they were brand new. You really have to do your homework if you find a used pair, because I'm going to assume that the comparables will probably be lower priced. So keep that in mind. But the second version of these sell in like the $80, $90 range. This, selling it for $65, I'll take it. It's all good. For the amount of items that I find that are really, really low price that sell for really high dollar amounts, this one kind of falls in between. I'm okay paying $20 for that. In fact, I do this with a lot of marketplace items, right? You have to pay up a little bit if you want to make a little bit more money. This one just happened to be behind the counter at a Goodwill. I saw it and, sort of an impulse purchase for me. I love Carhartt. It's so easy to resell. And oh, by the way, their shoes and their boots, a bolo as well. Keep your eye out for this particular style. So this is CMW 6191. You'll see the solds for brand new style selling in like the $120 to $130 range. I ended up selling these for full price, I took an offer on them. So $40, they're $57.97 all in. These cost me around $3 at the Goodwill bins. And again, you can find lots of good shoes at the bins. You can see like the midsole on this shoe looked like it needed to be touched up a little bit. I just left it alone. It's a little bit whiter. Through obvious use, it's a little bit discolored, but the brand new version selling at $130, I knew there was somebody in town that was going to pay $40 for this used pair, $50 or $40. So another good sale. Keep your eye out for Carhartt boots in addition to their vests, in addition to their coats. Spider. I don't know why comparable sales price-wise are all over the place for this brand. So this is Spider Foremost, I believe is the style that I came up with when I was doing research, and I will show you comparables with the foremost keyword in there. But I had this listed for I think $45, and I took an offer of $38.24. It's a 2X, so it's great. I actually wear a Spider jacket. I think the quality again is phenomenal. And this one was in even better condition than the previous one that I wear that is all black. So they're similar in style, but again, a 2XL is like a wheelhouse size, and the buyer ended up paying, for whatever reason, I couldn't get the data on my eBay screen for shipping and solds, but it really doesn't matter. They spent $38, and I'm sure shipping was around $10. Jacket cost me $6.99 at a thrift store. Okay, so this was a garage sale find over the summer. I paid $5 for this Estee Lauder Beyond Paradise 1.7 fluid ounces. And I believe this sold for full price. So $69.99. The buyer is $78.39 all in. The blue version is the one that you want to look for. And I know there's like confusion regarding, can you list pre-owned or used bottles? I think if you put it in the collectibles category, you can quote unquote get away with it. I'm not sure that you want to do something sneaky, but I feel like eBay made a change, and we didn't really get a good reason as to why they took away like the pre-owned category for colognes and perfumes. If somebody has insight on that as well, let me know in the comments. But I've been listing pre-owned, and the stuff has been selling fine in there. I haven't had any issues, and I'm not hearing about zero issues in the category specifically for people that are listing bottles in the collectibles categories rather than the pre-owned category, which doesn't exist anymore. Obviously, if it's not brand new, you probably don't want to list it brand new. Some type of asterisk or other along with the collectibles, and people understand what it is you're getting at when you're listing it. So keep that in mind. This was, pre-owned, but it was like 99% full, and I got full price for it. Okay, some more bin finds. We Sing trains. There were 5 of these. They're about, VHS tapes are like about a pound each, so $5, $6, $7, and I ended up selling this for full price, $39.99. The buyer is $54.60 all in. We Sing in lots. You'll probably get, between $20 and $50 for them, depending on how many you have. But there's a market for that still in VHS form, and I would rather sell them in lots rather than individual tapes. So lots is really how I would approach this. and get 5 or 6 or 7 of them together, and you're doing fine. You would probably also pay about $1 in most thrift stores for VHS tapes, so it's a good place to look for them too. I just happen to find these at the bins, but $1 to $2 you would be probably pushing it a little bit. But even if you paid $10, $11 for this and resold it for $40, you'd still be doing well. So keep your eye out for We Sing VHS in particular, because they're selling. Okay, so not all Christopher Radco ornaments are created equal. So I went to a church sale just a couple of months ago, and I didn't even look this up. I saw that it was Christopher Radco, and I just threw it in my bag and paid for it. I paid $5. It is the United for Peace 2000 version, a porcelain ornament, and brand new in the box. I didn't look them up at the sale because I was just convinced that the thing was worth $1 million. Well, the comparables were terrible. I will put solds up on the screen for you. I did get full price for it at $20, and the buyer is $26.98 all in. So would I have purchased this again? Under those circumstances, knowing now what I know, I might have passed this up. But again, I only paid $5 and I still sold it for $20. That's still a very, very good return. But sometimes I don't practice what I preach, and instead of buying items that will eventually resell and you'll make good money for them, I tend to get maybe a little bit, not greedy, but I tend to get like used to the larger returns. And so maybe I would pass this up next time, but it's Christopher Radco. It's what I put all over my trees. It's beautiful stuff. And this ornament is no exception. It's just a little bit lower priced. So keep that in mind. Not all Christopher Radco stuff is going to make you $1 million. Okay, you don't see this every day. So the San Diego Clippers are now the Los Angeles Clippers basketball team. So this is like a retro style. It's not retro or vintage in the sense that it's 20 years old, but it's a bucket hat, obviously. And I was the only one that had anything of its kind listed online. So I found this at the bins. Let's call it 50 cents. I sold it for full price, $29.99. The buyer is $36.83 all in after shipping and tax. It did have a little bit of a flaw. It had a little bit of a stain on the flip side of the brim, but it wasn't something that you could see when you were wearing it. So the exterior was in phenomenal condition. And again, me having the only bucket hat, I don't remember exactly where it went. It might have gone back out to California, but protecting yourself from the sun, a representation of the team prior to its move and name change and all of that. To me, that made perfect sense. And what you will find is you will sell their hats, beanie hats, and like their baseball caps more so than you will the bucket hats, just because that's more of a rare item to find. So because of its rarity, I picked it up and just slapped a $30 price tag on it, and it sold. So good sale there. Okay, another bins find, another glove bins find. So this one is Rawlings. The model number here that you want to pay attention to, and I will put comps on the screen here, is GGCMFPB. Right-handed catcher's mitt, black. A couple of solds in the $70 range, one of which is mine. I sold this for full price, and the buyer is $90.84 all in. So at 2 pounds or so, this was like a little bit over $3, but I find gloves often at the bins lately, not so much in the retail stores, and I'm looking for them because before you know it, April will start to come. Actually, I think pitchers and catchers start reporting at the end of March. I don't remember how exactly it works for Major League Baseball, but gloves sell year round, right? This sold in the second week in November, and I got full price for it. So keep your eye out for it. You always want to look for the actual style code and style number, which I've already given you. Make sure you look for that. But this one in particular, great money when you find it. Okay, this surprised me a little bit. So these were very light Helly Hansen ski pants. Helly Tech, they were flat front. I couldn't really find great keywords for it, so I just did my best with what I was working with. Style numbers and style codes, not easy to come by from a research perspective, so I just priced these at $45, hoping for the best, and I took an offer of $38.24. The buyer is $50.02 all in after shipping and tax. Again, long, well-made ski pants for men, and they only cost me around $2.50, maybe just a little bit under 3 pounds because of how lightweight they were. They will be a bolo depending on the price you pay. So if you're paying, maybe $10, $11 for them for resale, it will really depend on the style that you find. But this one, having found them at the bins and then being able to just take a chance on it with generic keywords, since I really couldn't find an exact style for them, it still worked out to my benefit. So on a case-by-case basis, look up Helly Hansen ski pants, because I'm not sure every single one of them will be a bolo for you, but if the price is right, grab them. Okay, pair of Birkenstock men's sandals. This is Milano. They were size 11 US. I had them priced at $59.99, and that is what they sold for. The buyer is $80.50 all in after shipping and tax. This was another bins find for me. Maybe 2 or 3 pairs of Birkenstocks I found at a single trip to the bins. And they weighed about, you know, I'm gonna say close to a pound, maybe slightly over. So it's about $1.50, $1.60 for me. So a huge return. Arizona is a very popular Birkenstyle style, but Milano is one that I'm new to. So if you've never seen it before, the comps will be on the screen. You'll get great money for them. A wheelhouse size for men, size 11, and the color as well. Just an easy sale. Birkenstocks, even really worn Birkenstocks sell. So this was a pickup that you never even have to think twice when you see them. But yeah, I got a big return on those. So it was a great sale. Okay, so it pays to get to know other resellers in your local area. So there's a buddy of mine that like primarily sells bikes, and every time I see a bike, I'll shoot him a text like, hey, I got these, you want me to buy them? And we'll meet up and I'll get them to you. We do deals often. He actually found these at a Goodwill. So he sent me a text message and said, hey, Bang & Olufsen S45 speakers, they're $10. You want me to pick them up for you? I ran the comps really quick and I said, scoop them up. We did our thing, met up, and I took these. So for $10, I sold them for full price, $169.99. The buyer is $215.18 all in. You'll notice there's a little bit, it looks like slight cracking in the bottom right speaker in the image. That did not affect the sound. I put video in there showing that it worked, and you could, you know, turn the volume up, and there was no like cracking or rattling. The speakers were in fine condition. They came with covers. Those were in another picture. So the covers were sort of like inverted. It's a neat style. You know, $170 for 10. It really does pay to get to know and befriend the people in your area. Somebody had asked me a question about the bins, and you know, is the bins scary? Like, are you running into people that are all over the place? Situations like these, they get a lot less scary when you just get to know people. Like, hey, what do you like? I'll look for it. You know what I mean? Like, befriend a lot of people, and especially other resellers, because you guys will really end up helping each other out. That's helped me tremendously, not just at the bins, but even shopping out at the stores. You start to see the same people, and it's like, hey man, I got a deal for you here, got this for you here, I'll keep my eye out for you, and makes you more money at the end of the day. So this was one of those instances where not something I would normally like seek out, but he was there, right time, right place, looking out for me, and we made a deal, and I got a great return on that one. Okay, last one, big banger sale right here. Dexter complete series. These come in like, the CDs were like blood slides. It was like just a very cool packaging, very cool individual CDs that they had in there. The complete set, 1 to 8 collector's edition, and this is a bona fide bolo for sure. So I will put comps up on the screen for you. $179.99 is what I sold this for. The buyer is $260.78 all in. Now I found this on Facebook Marketplace, so I did pay up for it. I paid $40 for it, but knowing that holidays were looming and this is a popular series, I believe there was even, I don't know if it's a reboot, but they brought it back, if I understand correctly. So they're making new episodes again. You folks that watch television or watch the show have to school me on that, because I'm not 100% certain. But a wonderful sale to cap off a very slow week. I will take it. 15 more in the books for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what did you think? Thank you for bearing with me on a super tired Brendan version of what's sold on eBay. So if you learned something or you liked what you saw, please leave me a like on this video. And then if you are not subscribed, what on earth are you waiting for? Please consider becoming a subscriber. Totally free for you. It helps me out considerably. But that's all I have. Thanks for bearing with me as we trudged through that one. And I'll see you in the next video.